Hello everyone! Today we will talk about finding the percentage or solving for the percentage in a given problem. First, let's start with a story problem titled Lynn's Math Test. Lynn studied hard for her math exam to get a high score. She got 90% correct from a 30-item test. How many correct answers did she have? For us to answer this problem, we have to analyze it first. So in here, we are asked to find the number of correct answers Lynn got, given that she got 90% correct of the 30-item test. So basically, we just need to answer the question, what is 90% of 30? So in this question, let's identify which one is the base, the rate, and the percentage. To find for the percentage, our keyword is the word is. Percentage is located either before or after the word is. In this case, there's no number before is, but there's a number after is, and that number is 90%. But since 90% has a percent symbol, we will not consider this one as a percentage. Rather, this will be our rate. That means we don't have a percentage in this case. Then, 30 is our base because of the keyword of. Okay. So again, in this problem, we are missing the percentage. Base is 30 and rate is 90%. Let us recall that percentage is the result of finding a certain percent of a number. It is usually located, just like what I mentioned earlier, before the word is or after the word is. Now, in finding for the percentage or in computing for the percentage, we may use this illustration here for us to easily remember the formula that we will use. Okay, so P should be on top in our triangular figure, and B and R should be written below. You may interchange R and B, but P should always be on top. P stands for percentage, B for base, and R for rate. Since percentage is on top, it means that the formula that we will use is percentage is equal to base times rate, or that is P equals B times R. Now let's go back to our problem. Again, we need to find 90% of 30, okay, for us to know the percentage or the number of correct answers that she have. Okay, for us to do that, again, this is the formula that we'll use. Percentage is equal to base times rate. So let's solve. Our base is 30 and our rate is 90%. In this case, we cannot multiply 30 and 90% because of the symbol percent. Okay, in that case, we need to convert this first or change it first into a decimal number. Let us always remember that percent means per 100. Okay, so therefore, 90% is equivalent to 90 over 100 or 90 per 100. Again, 90% means 90 per 100. So for us to change 90% into a decimal number, we need to divide 90 and 100. We already talked about dividing a number by 10, 100, 1000, and so on. So in this case, for us to divide 90 and 100, all we need to do is to move the decimal point of 90 twice to the left. Okay. Therefore, 90% when converted into a decimal number will give us, okay, let's move this, 1, 2. Okay, so that will be 0.90 or just simply 0.9. We will no longer put the percent symbol because we already changed it into over 100. That's why we divided 90 by 100. And that's why we moved the decimal point of 90 twice to the left. Okay, so now we can multiply 30 and 0.9. Okay, so let's solve. We have 0, 9 times 3 is 27. We have 1 decimal place, so our answer should also have 1 decimal place. Therefore, our percentage is 27. That means Lynn got 27 correct items in her 30-item test. Now, let's have some more examples. What is 75% of 100? Again, the formula that we will use is P is equal to base times rate. Okay, so our rate here is 75% because of the percent symbol, and our base is 100 because of the word of. So let's look for the percentage. We need to simply multiply 100 and 75%. But then again, 75% has a percent symbol, so we need to change it first into a decimal number. And for us to do that, we'll just simply remove the percent symbol and move the decimal point of 75 twice to the left. So the decimal point of 75 is after digit 5, then we move it twice to the left. So 75% is equal to 0.75. Now let's multiply 100 and 0.75. In multiplying a number or a decimal number by 100, we just simply have to move the decimal point of the other factor twice to the right, because we have here two zeros. Okay, so that will be 1, 2. So 100 times 0.75 is equal to 75. Okay, if you want to multiply it manually, you may also do so. So we have here 005007. Then that will give us 7,500. But we have here two decimal places there. So it is still 75. Another one, what is 40% of 80? Again, this is our formula. So let's solve. P is equal to 80 times 40%. 40% in decimal will give us 0.4. So we have 80 times 0.4. Let's multiply. We have 320, but we have here one decimal place, so we'll have one decimal place as well in our product. So the final answer is percentage is equal to 32. Let's try another one. What number is 6.5% of 200? Okay, for us to solve it, again, we will use this formula here. So P will be equal to 200 is the base because of the word of. Then our rate is 6.5% because of the percent symbol. For us to change 6.5% into a decimal number, we'll just remove the percent symbol and move the decimal point of 6.5 twice to the left. The decimal point of 6.5 is here, so we'll start moving from this point. We'll have 1, 2. Okay, then we will add placeholder 0 to the empty space here. That means 6.5% will be equal to 0.065 in decimal number. Now let's multiply it by 200. We will have 0, 0, then this will be, and 13. Then we have here 3 decimal places. Okay, so the answer will be 13. Percentage is equal to 13. Let's continue. What is 5% of 135? Okay, so to solve for percentage, we'll multiply the base and the rate. Okay, first we need to change 5% into a decimal number by removing the percent symbol and moving the decimal point of 5 twice to the left. The decimal point of 5 is located after 5, then we move it twice to the left. Okay, so that means 5% is equal to 0.05 in decimal number. Now let's multiply it by 135. Okay, we'll have 25, 17, and 6. Then we have here 2 decimal places. That means the percentage is 6.75, or 5% of 135 is 6.75. Let's have our last example. What number is 200% of 75.9? Again, for us to solve for the percentage, this is what we will use. Okay, so percentage would be 75.9 times 200%. Okay. So let's change first 200% into a decimal number by removing the percent symbol and moving the decimal point of 200 twice to the left. The decimal point of 200 is here. When we move it twice to the left, that will give us 2. Okay, now let's multiply that to 75.9, and that will give us 151.8. Okay, therefore 200% of 75.9 is 151.8. And that's it for our lesson for today. Thank you for listening.